Happy Friday, everyone. What an absolute dumpster fire yesterday turned out to be. All right, we've got a full 15 game slate. This was a very, very tricky slate to handicap. So I am going to get into it. Let's talk first about the recap. Wow, not good, right? We had 9 games on the slate yesterday. 7 of the 9 were won by underdogs. We were on the right side of 2 of those, so did have the Twins. That was extremely sweat free. That was just an absolute beat down. And then we had the Blue Jays. Same thing. Rodon, overrated. Just was serving up runs left and right. Blue Jays had 5 runs in the first inning. Yet Rodon, they just kind of left him out there. Still hit that under 5.5K prop. Still went over, which is pretty crazy. Let's see. So really, it was a pretty rough day. But we did hit, like I said, Twins money line on our straight bet, and then we hit that plus 124 Guardians first 5 minus half a run. The Royals infected the Guardians bats, so I think there's something in the water there. Guardians left 9 on base, scored 1 run, cost me a few bets there. So that hurt. That's a very profitable day if the Guardians can score some runs there. 2 massive upsets. Phillies, what the hell, man? Up 3-0, and they just left Wheeler out there maybe a little too long. And the Marlins, I said it yesterday on the video. There are 2 teams that will always screw up great bets, and it's the White Sox and the Marlins, and sure as shit, both of them won. So, yeah, Phillies blew it. Marlins score 6 runs in like 2 innings between the 6th and the 7th, and it was crazy, absolutely crazy that they lost. And then we had the Braves. The Braves, a bullpen day for the White Sox, one of the worst bullpens in baseball. It's just they served them up a Thanksgiving feast, and the Braves managed like 3-4 hits is all. It was horrendous. Had many times had runners in scoring position, couldn't get the job done. Sale pitched an absolute gem, went over that 7.5K prop easily. Had 11 Ks, gave up 1 home run that barely went over the wall. Barely went over the wall. And that's all they needed. White Sox win 1-0. Just absolute crazy day. Orioles got the job done for us, sweat free, just absolutely smacked the Rangers around. Jack Flaherty going up against a Angels bullpen day or a minor leaguer. I think it was a minor leaguer, and the Tigers get smacked. Flaherty gives up 5 runs. Just the absolute crazy night in baseball. Like I said, Guardians, one of the hottest hitting teams around, score 1 run in like the 4th or the 5th, and that's it. Left runners on base like crazy. Let's see. The Cardinals, the Reds, all of a sudden just turned on the offense out of nowhere and pummeled Mikolas, which we kind of knew that was due. He's had some last 3-4 outings were really good. So, like I said, the Reds are one of the most difficult teams to handicap because they do have a potent offense, but it can just go cold, ice cold out of nowhere. And we had the Abbott under 2.5 walks. Yeah, we that one lost in the first inning. He walked the bases loaded, so he ended up having 6 walks. Only gave up 2 hits. Crazy. And then obviously with the Reds thumping the Cards, Mikolas did not go over. Did not make it to the 6th inning. Ooh, yeah, Giants ended up losing in extra innings. They shouldn't have gotten to extra innings. They should have won well before that. So just an absolute wild day. But new day, new opportunities. We did do pretty good on the props though. We went 6-4. So I'll call that a good day on the props. All right, let's jump into the slate here. Revenge game, man. Phillies, Marlins, Christopher Sanchez going up against Kyle Tyler. Kyle Tyler, not good. Way worse than Trevor Rogers. This it should be a beatdown. Although yesterday should have, but I just don't see Phillies losing back-to-back games against the Fish. The only thing the Fish had going for them, which I said yesterday, left-handed pitcher. Sometimes the Phillies struggle against lefty pitchers, and they did struggle a little bit yesterday. They had a lot of success, but there was some struggles. Complete opposite today. You give them a right-handed pitcher, they are going to feast. I love Phillies run line, Phillies first five. I would even sprinkle. You could do this. A little sprinkle on first five minus 1.5. Just throwing it out there. We've got Tyler. Dude's had one career start. He went 4 innings, had 2 strikeouts versus Seattle. So his K prop is 2.5. Yeah, you could look at the under, which we're going to talk about some props today. I have a decent amount of props I like. But end of the day, Phillies bounce back here. 100% they bounce back. There's no way they're going to lose this again today. If we look at the pitch splits, Sanchez has a really good matchup here. Tyler does not. And this is, a young guy making his second career start facing the Phillies. They should feast. Next game. That's all I got to say about that. We got a lot to get through here. This is going to be a long video. All right, Nats Rays. Interesting matchup. This was hard. I'm on the Nats in this one. Plus money. We're getting really good value. The Rays have been hitting, but they just had a day off, right? And if we look at a day's rest, it hasn't gone well for Tampa. They're 3-7 with a day off. Nationals, on the other hand, are 7-5. The only thing working against the Nationals is they did just travel across the country, right? They played the Padres, played the Angels, come back all the way to the East Coast. The Rays have just been sitting at home for quite a while now. So 2 ways you can look at that. Sometimes that worked against the home team, which is more where I'm leaning on this. If we look at Eflin, it's hard. I mean, it's a tight one, really tight game to handicap. If we look at the current players on this roster, he's had some success against them. He's got a 32% K rate versus this lineup. He's been under 2.5 earned runs in his last 4 home starts, so he has been pitching well. Conversely, we look at Parker. He's had 3+ earned runs in 5 of 8 away starts. So everything honestly points towards the Rays here. If we look at the numbers, it's kind of Rays heavy. Now, the only thing I like is when we look at Tampa Bay's lineup, Eflin doesn't pitch great against lefties. And this is going to be a, decently heavy. You've got 5 lefties in this lineup. Conversely, when we look at Parker, he pitches really well against right-handed pitching. Got a sub-2 average. This lineup is basically, it's all right. They're going to have 9 righties in the lineup. Now, if this were opposite and we're getting 4 or 5 lefties on the Rays, I like the Rays. But such a heavy right-handed lineup, and looking at Parker's splits, he just pitches very well against righties. So I like them here. If you're not comfortable with that, I like an alt over 7. It's a little juiced at like minus 140, but I do see some runs. One of these pitchers is going to give up some runs for sure. But ultimately, too much value on the Nats at plus 136. I just can't lay minus 162 on a Rays team that, yes, they've been hitting over the last 10, 12 days, but we know that can go cold at any time. So I just think it's a good spot for the Nationals here. All right, next game. Tough matchup. We saw the Orioles just obliterate the Rangers yesterday. That was John Gray. Huge pitching advantage with Corbin Burnes on the hill. It's kind of the opposite today. We've got Max Scherzer making his second start of the year, so we don't have a lot to go on. He had a really good first outing. Going up against Albert Suarez. Suarez has struggled. Last couple outings, he has struggled. However, he pitches much better at home, and he has a really, he has a much better split against lefties, right? Lefties are only hitting 278 against him. Righties are hitting 322. All right, there are 6 lefties in the Rangers lineup, and the Rangers just haven't hit well. So I like Orioles money line. Really, just kind of banking. We're fading the Rangers offense is really what it is. That's all it comes down to. And if we look at the Orioles, they're hitting. That's the one thing they're doing. Do I think they tag Scherzer hard? No, but I do think they get some runs. And then they have a pretty massive bullpen advantage. So even if they can take it, let's say down 2-1 coming into the sixth, I like them to make up the difference there. You could look at the under. You could either do first five under, you can do full game under. I don't see a ton of runs being scored in this game. The Nerfy at -120 is really good value here. I think Scherzer shuts them down, and I just don't see the Rangers tagging Suarez, even though he hasn't had a couple of great outings here. You're banking on a pretty terrible offense here. So I really like the Nerfy at -120. I haven't bet a Nerfy in a hot minute. This might be one of them, I'll be honest. Just really good value there. All right, next game. Yankees Blue Jays. Wow, Blue Jays just shit on Rodon real bad. We got Stroman going up against Kikuchi. It's an interesting matchup. Kikuchi has faced the Yankees 2 times in April. Had a lot of success, to be honest. He had 7 Ks and 9 Ks against them. Didn't give up a lot of runs. This is where, I mean, I can't believe I'm saying it, but I like to lean towards the Yankees here. I like runs being scored. I think if you want to do like a first 5 over, that's cool. I think the over 8.5 is doable. It's a little juiced. Might take an alt of 8. I like Yankees first 5. I just think they hit Kikuchi. I mean, if we look at his splits against right-handers are hitting 366. So I like them to have a little day here. You know, the Yankees have a decent amount of right-handed bats. And I don't mind the matchup with Soto. Soto hits lefties pretty decently, so I do think they have the advantage today. It's just, do you trust their offense? Is this my favorite bet today? No. It's like my 13th ranked one. But I do think they get the job done today. All right, next game, Padres and Red Sox. Oof. Not a Vasquez fan. That said, Pivetta hasn't exactly been rock solid at home. If we look at Pivetta, 4.62 ERA at home. Vasquez, 6.85 ERA away. So pretty crazy. We look at the splits on Pivetta. He pitches really well against lefties. He's got a 163 batting average, 267 WOBA. Padres are bringing 5 left-handed bats to the game. So I'd say that's advantage Boston. Conversely, we look at Vasquez. Lefties are hitting 478. Let me repeat that. They're hitting 478 against this dude. Boston's bringing 7 left-handed bats. They are loading that left side. I can't fade them. You can't fade Boston on a dude where they're hitting 478 for Christ's sakes. So to me, this is Boston all day. I like first 5, -0.5. Give me the money line. I don't think Pivetta goes insane, but I think he does enough to where they should be fine. The Red Sox will score runs off of Vasquez. So give me Boston all day. All right, next game. Tough one. Good one, too. Jose Quintana going up against Ronel Blanco. Mets have been hot. Look over the last 7 days, last 14 days. Last 14 days, best hitting team in baseball. Last 7, I'd say it's them and Baltimore. So you got a hot hitting team. However, Astros right there with them, right? So you've got Astros, Mets, and Orioles are hitting really well over the past week. So 2 offenses clashing right here. I like the over. I mean, this just screams over. One of them will get shelled. My money's on Quintana. He's got a 3.49 ERA at home, which is better than what it is on the road. Conversely, Blanco, he's better away than he is at home. He's been really solid. We look, left-handed hitters hitting 172 off of him. Right-handed hitters hitting 111. They're hitting 111 off of him. And when we look at the lineup, it's going to be a little bit of a mix. He's going to have 3 lefties, 6 righties. So you're giving me 6 righties. They're hitting 111. I think the Mets hit well above that today. But the splits just really work out in the Astros' advantage. So I like Astros to get it done here today, and I like the over. I think there will be runs, especially with the wind blowing out almost 10 miles an hour. Really like the over in this game. So it's minus 120 right now. I think this definitely jumps to 8.5 at some point today. So that's where I'm at on that one. Rockies, White Sox. I mean, Jesus Christ, this game. Flip a coin. I hate it. I'm not going to talk about much. I got White Sox. If I had to lean on a team, I'm going White Sox. Probably take the under here, which is pretty crazy considering Dakota Hudson's just absolute dog shit. Drew Thorpe's okay, but I don't trust either of these offenses, so this is just a complete fade for me. But if you want to get crazy, go nuts. Pick White Sox. All right, Braves Pirates. Braves didn't get it done yesterday, just a few hits, so I'm kind of I'm yo-yoing here. I think the Braves get the job done today, going up against Martin Perez. We got Charlie Morton on the mound. Not a ton to talk about. I don't love the Pirates. They've been hitting okay. Technically, last 7 days they've been hitting better than the Braves. Even last 14 days they've been hitting better than the Braves. Braves have a good home record, 24-13. Pirates are 20-21, so respectable. Braves have lost 2 in a row. I just don't think they're going to lose 3 in a row. That's simply what it comes down to. Not much to talk about there. All right, moving on. Guardians Royals. Cannot believe the Guardians scored 1 damn run. I like the under. 10 is really juiced. I think the books are banking on McKenzie. If we look at the lines, they think McKenzie is going to get hit harder than Marsh, which I don't see it, right? He's got a higher ERA, 4.28 away. Marsh is 3.58 at home. Marsh has been getting rocked, absolutely rocked. I'm just fading it. The numbers are better for Marsh, right? If we look at what right-hand hitters are doing, they're hitting 262 off of Marsh, 327 off McKenzie. McKenzie's had back-to-back pretty rough outings. I just don't trust the Royals offense. They still haven't showed me anything. Last night they left Lively out there too long. They gave up back-to-back triples. That's really what defined this game. Back-to-back triples, and the Royals barely got that second run home with no outs. So I still am continuing to fade the Royals here. I would even look to Guardians run line. I mean, plus 130. It's just a significantly better offense going up against an inferior pitcher. Whereas, yes, the Guardians are not throwing the greatest pitcher on earth, but it's a shit offense. So I love McKenzie pitching props. We'll talk about that, but that's on my card today. Give me the Guardians here for sure, and heavy lean towards the under. Next game, Cubs Brewers. We've got an NL Central matchup here. Cubs squeak one out in extras yesterday against the Giants. Plus money going up against the Brewers. Brewers offense has been really well. They've been hitting really well past couple series. Colin Rea going up against Jameson Talon. I like Rea here. I was actually surprised. I was looking through the notes or the stats. I didn't put it on here. I should have, but Rea has been pretty good, and he pitches quite well at home. If we look at the splits here, Talon does not do well against right-handers. 333 average. Rea's splits are good. 222 to lefties, 217 to righties. We look at this split, and if we look at Chicago, it's pretty even, right? And we look at Milwaukee, the lefties, Talon pitches good against lefties, 218. That said, I just don't think he contains Yelich all that much. And Bryce Terang's a pretty good leadoff hitter. So I like the spot here. I really like Brewers here, and we're getting good value at minus 135. Wind is blowing out, a little concerning with Rea, but Cubs just aren't a power hitting team. So that doesn't give me a whole lot of angst there. Brewers are just the hotter team right now, and it's a division matchup. Brewers want this, so they're going to come out firing. Give me the Brewers all day there. All right, next game, Reds-Cardinals. We saw the Reds offense just unleash hell on Mikolas. Andre Pallante up next tonight. Very, very hittable pitcher. So I really like the Reds in this situation. Pallante isn't pitching well against right-handed hitters, has some success against lefties. Give me the Reds here. I'll be honest, though, the Reds typically do the opposite of what I want them to do. So, if you were smart, probably take the Cardinals. But I'm going Reds at plus money here. Their offense does tend to kind of click in series, right? So if they start hot, they typically stay hot throughout that series. So we'll see what happens this game. I usually fade Montas, but I'm going to back him today. He's got a 4.91 ERA away. He faced St. Louis May 29th in Cincinnati. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 Ks. Not bad for GABP. Palante, 5.65 ERA at home. Pitches much worse at home. Again, he was in that same matchup against the Reds in Cincinnati. 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 4 Ks. So a much better outing. I just don't think he has that same success today, especially at home, where he pitches worse. All right, moving on. Maybe this video is going to be a little quicker than I thought. All right, Tigers, Angels. Crappy game yesterday. Tigers, just absolutely ridiculous that they couldn't hit. Just the pitching disparity was insane, and they didn't get the job done. That said, we look at Plesac. He has not been good. He has not been good. We look at his last outing versus the Dodgers, 3.1 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 1 K. Game before that, I believe he gave up 4 earned runs against like the Mariners, who haven't hit well. Pretty crazy, right? All right, we look at Maeda. Scary. It's scary. 9.9 road ERA. That said, there's one game in there where he did absolutely terrible and really blows up this number. So it's not really this bad. It just looks bad. I got to back Maeda today. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to back Maeda. And I like Tigers money line, and I like the over 9. We've got a wind blowing out. Tigers, I just look for them to have a day against Plesac. So, and I think the Angels will get their runs off Maeda. He's just not great. He's below average at best. But I think the Tigers get it done today. Not a game I feel. Yeah, actually, I feel pretty good about it. I'm not going to lie. Tigers get it done today. I'm backing that. All right, Twins Mariners, tough game. We got Bailey Ober, who's been pitching fairly well recently, going up against Logan Gilbert, who did not pitch well in May, but he has been on an absolute tear in June. He has been extremely good. That said, these two did square off in Minnesota. Ober went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, had 7 Ks. That said, away, he is pitching much worse at 5.07 ERA away. Gilbert pitching much better at home, 2.66 ERA at home. Like I said, last couple starts at home, he's been electric. He's been absolutely dynamite. But when he did pitch against Minnesota in May, he went 4 innings, gave up 9 hits, 8 earned runs. And the Twins are kind of hitting like they were then, right? They went on a 2-3 week cold streak here. They're back hitting very nicely. I like Twins here. I think Gobert does enough to get the job done. We just need the Twins to get to Gilbert. I don't trust the Mariners offensively, right? The Rays game, they hit a home run. That's the only thing that saved them. They had no offense the past 2 or 3 series. So I think the Twins can score runs and will score runs. I think the Mariners will get to Ober a little bit. I do like the over 7. This is just a little too low against the Twins offense, in my opinion. Even as well as Gilbert's pitching, I do think they hit him. So Twins money line for me. Not a game I feel amazing about. I've got it ranked 11th out of 15th, but I do like the Twins. Got to ride the hot bats. All right, A's, Diamondbacks. I hate this game. This game is so bad. This is my last ranked game. Sassoni, 13 ERA at home. 13. He's had 3 home starts. He's given up at least 6 runs in every start. And then you got the A's, who suck. Sears has a 4.86 ERA. The Diamondbacks are hitting 100 over the last week. 100. Corbin Carroll, ice cold in that leadoff spot. Ice cold. They've been striking out a lot. I mean, this is a coin flip. I think 2 weeks ago, Diamondbacks would have been like minus 250 favorite. I can't believe they're minus 155, if I'm being honest. The value here is on the A's. Fading Sassoni at home, where he has given up 6+ runs. I can't back either team, but my lean would be the Athletics. All right, Dodgers, Giants. Interesting line. I'm shocked this is a coin flip at -110, to be honest. Logan Webb is a much better pitcher at home than he is away. Landon Knack has been really good. 2.45 ERA away. Been better at home, but he has pitched solid. So I like Dodgers here. I'm just taking the better offense. If we look at the numbers, Giants just not been hitting well over the last 7 days, over the last 14 days. You know, Logan Webb is vulnerable to right-handed hitters, 288 average, 246 to lefties. So I think the advantage here is on the Dodgers, and this line should be -130, -125 in the Dodgers' favor. So again, I'm playing the value here. There's just too much value, especially with the wind blowing out, and the Dodgers have a more potent offense. That said, Logan Webb is a ground ball pitcher, so he doesn't give up a ton of home runs. Whereas Knack, he's a fly ball pitcher. That aids in the Giants' favor. Don't trust their power here. Give me the Dodgers on the money line here. I wouldn't mess around with any type of first five or anything like that. And the Dodgers do have quite the bullpen advantage, so I don't want to mess around with first five as well because of that. All right, Logan Webb is a good pitcher. He is hittable though. So like the Dodgers here. All right, let's talk about best bets on the day. So I've got every team ranked out to the right. Again, this doesn't mean bet all 15. This is just where I see them and ranked. Straight bets, I like Nats money line +136. Give me Astros money line at -118. And give me the Phillies run line at -122. That is amazing value. I don't know how it's that low. I guess because of yesterday, but love that one. That's definitely my favorite bet today. All right, parlays today. Give me Phillies run line, Boston money line, Braves money line +365. Brewers, Tigers, Guardians money line +478. If you don't like the Tigers and you're not feeling that bet, I think you could do Dodgers, Orioles, Reds in there, or Astros, something like that. I like those. And then we're going to do a prop parlay. So over on the right are all the prop leans that I liked. I highlighted the three that are going to be in our parlay. So it's going to be Tristan McKenzie under 3.5 earned runs, Frankie Montas over 3.5 Ks, Logan Gilbert under 6.5 Ks. So those are my three favorites, but really the ones I kind of starred are probably the ones I liked the most on this list. But overall, really like them all, to be honest. I think there's value in each and every one of them. So that is going to do it for the video today. Hopefully we have a good bounce back day here. Hopefully the underdogs don't win 85% of the games again today. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you made it this far, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, as we're growing at a nice pace. So thank you to everyone that has already subscribed. And I will catch you guys in tomorrow's video.